Welcome to my debut, ladies and gentlemen. This is my new model. We're gonna have a fucking good time. I know what you guys are thinking. How did we even get here? And I got a long story for you guys. In fact, I did something I didn't think I'd have to do when I left school. I made a debut PowerPoint for you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first ever Prezi presentation. I paid $180 for the license, which I'm gonna refund after the stream is over. Everyone's debut has to have a PowerPoint. I didn't do one on my first model, so I felt like, you know what? We gotta bring it back for the second one. Before we get to the massive announcements, or the very big ones, I wanted to talk a little bit about my lore video. I wanted to give a shout out to all the people who collabed with me the first time I ever debuted. The original plan with this model was I wanted it done by this January 1st of this year. Because I debuted my model January 1st of last year. I don't want to talk about it. That was the original plan. But every single person, or almost everyone that I debuted with and play games with is seen on the walls as I walk in.
Welcome to our
Two of these people already graduated. Oh my god.
guild. How can I help you today?
Have you heard the tale of the evil dragon and his...
If you guys can't tell, Lily who voiced my first lore video, also came back to voice here. I had told her I needed her to become...
I heard he broke into the castle and stole away the princess. He then went to steal money from a nearby town. But do you know why he...
Okay, this art piece, the base default art piece, the background stretches past like 2 ultra wides. The actual base resolution is like, goes like to Narnia. It is everyone in OTV.
Party of friends. They even called themselves heroes. But then what? Their bodies were found bloody and bruised by his hands. I guess he wasn't that good after all. Why, you ask?
Yeah, it's canon. I killed them all, and then that's how I turned into.
Are you sure that's what really happened?
Hold up.
I finally found you. Why did you do it? Why did you? Why?
A more darker dragon.
I was best friend.
I did the voice acting for this, okay? If you guys couldn't tell, I tried to voice act this seriously. It was impossible. You know how cringe it is to be next to Peter, keep going, why?
Friends with those kids.
So I thought it was funny just take it a little bit less seriously.
The princess, me and her go way back.
We do. We go way back.
I even fixed their houses on the weekend.
I had to retcon my entire lore from the first video to make sense with my lore from the second video. I'm pretty sure I have to do that for my future one too. I don't want to think about it.
I donate to their school every week. But something changed. You changed me. And I did something I could never go back from. But why did you make me do it? Why?
And it's revealed that the goddess who first isekai'd me in the first lore video was actually Lily, the evil goddess from this video. Which, what happens in the future? Why did she do it? Why? We'll find the conclusion in the next video in 10 years. Anyways, these are all the people who ended up helping me. Oh, we got really good artists for this. I look at the backgrounds, I'm like, oh my god, the detail is crazy. I will put the full credits with stuff on Twitter after this stream. So don't worry about this here if you want to know. This is the longest thing, I think. I started this in November, and there were a lot of complications that came up, but I'm glad it's finally out. Well, without further ado, let's jump into the hole. Let's just first go really quick. I got new graphics, guys. These are lovely graphics made by T Company Seoul. Yes, these are beautiful. I love everything. I wanted a kind of a darker aesthetic, and I love the colors that were used for this. These will be my kind of starting screen, loading screens. I had an older one, but I'm gonna be using this one even when I'm in my flesh outfit. So you'll be commonly seeing these throughout the day. But this is just the first thing I wanted to talk about. Everything gets better, starting with this. A lot of debuts, PowerPoints talk about how their favorite likes and dislikes, you know, their blood type, their favorite games, their favorite anime. I thought it's too late for that. I've been out for 10 years, everyone knows everything about me. So instead, let's talk about how I got here. I looked at a lot of dragons in preparation for this. I even found a website that was fan fictions for dragons. But I talked to my artist. I got her permission to do these, and I know a lot of people are interested in how do you ideate, how do you create a model from pretty much nothing? It's not me. It's my artist. She drew a ridiculous amount of sketches for me to be like, well, would you like it more based? Would you like it more lean? What do you think about propeller from the ground? More cartoony, more dark? I even remember looking at Final Fantasy 14 dragons. What type of wing do you want? Do you want crystals on it? How detailed do you want it? She's crazy. And this is the finish line. This is my full dragon. The artist is Starbottle Kai. I've worked with her for my first model and my second. Ivy rigged my model with Brian, and I had a lot of help with Soy to be able to set stuff up. So my model can do a lot of things. First of all, my model has wings, okay? It is capable of flight. I want to really point out the detail that went into this model, both from the artist and the rigger perspective. If you look at my eyes, when I open my eyes too loud, the slits go narrower. I was actually told it's very hard to rig my model because a lot of the things that people use for human models are completely gone from mine. You see my hands? Both my hands and my wings are controlled by my eyebrows. So if I raise my eyebrows really high, my hands open, and if I relax my eyebrows, they're kind of at more of a resting position. Also, the wings are also rigged to my eyebrows. So if I raise my brows, the wings actually raise as well. And you tell us how much you spend on everything? A shitload of money. Not as much as Vebe. I'll be going, not nearly as much, but I think the average price of a model now is multiple thousands. And I think that that's like a pretty good way of saying it. All right, let's talk about things that matter to some of the people here. I have had sub badges and emotes done for months. I decided to go more toward an old school vibe for this. I have a lot of really old subscribers, a ton of them. And so I wanted to make sure that I had covered everything from the early months, but also had very, very big things for people who are 10-year subscribers. I wanted to keep the kind of evolution process I had from my old sub badges. These are all the first year. And then slowly it's like an evolution from an egg onwards into a golden evil dragon, which may or may not be the next model, probably not. But this is my 10-year subscriber badge. So there, I think, are 3 people who have this. If you ever see them in the wild, be impressed. They've been here a long time. I wanted to have emotes that were a little bit different. I know a lot of people do the same emotes. I had a lot of help from Ham. Here are the new emotes, which I will be putting in right now. They're also done by the same person who did the sub badges, Soyu. I've worked with her before for my last set of emotes. So it's been kind of a long time coming. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I watched 11 episodes of Demon Slayer in a day, the second season, and I literally messaged her, I'm like, can you do me as Nezuko? I break the thing and get really mad, and she's like, yeah? This is what I wanted to leave Rage for, guys. I took out the lag one. Hopefully I don't lag that much in the future, but it seemed like the least used one. I love Roll for when people use it to come into stream or to raid people. The aim is obviously one used a lot for FPS. Chug is really used. Rave is like the most used one. And so I had to choose, like pick and choosing my favorite children. And you know what? Little Timmy, you're my 6th favorite son. What can I say? And now we get to the best slide. The very big announcement I've been waiting to talk about for a long time. This is something that I have been hinting at, talking about for a long time. This is the first ever merch I've ever made in 2016. And since then, I'll be honest, I've not been very interested in making my own merch. That's changed recently. But you know me, I don't like being meta, you know, with anything. I don't want to make the same stuff that other people make. And so I decided to go a little bit different with what I wanted to do for my merchandise. Introducing my plushie. So when I first started thinking about this, I obviously reached out to OTV artists. I reached out to Savanto very first to mock up a plushie, both for my old model, which I will use still, as well as the second one. Was this a secret? I mean, I've hinted at it before. These, you should have never seen these before. So yes, they're an open secret. And I'll be honest, there was a lot of back and forth for these plushies, and they're literally here in my living room right now. I have worked with the company BS Pro. Steven has been project managing this for me. Thank you so much for both of them. I understand they're not perfect to design, and honestly, the back and forth is really difficult. But I think for a first run, it's great. When can you get these? That's a good question. They're literally in production in China right now. It'll probably be here in November. I'll make a further announcement. I will tell you right now, they'll probably be cheap as shit. Because they were like, they gave me quoted prices. They were like, oh, we'll give you a cheaper price if you order 1,000. I'm like, oh, 1,000? That seems kind of doable. Awesome. So here's how much it costs. I sent them the money. This is 1,000 for both of them. So I now have 2,000 plushies coming, and I'm gonna get rid of them. I have a little too many. The manufacturer nicknamed them Little Brother, Big Brother. The bigger model is actually bigger by about 20%. So you're actually getting a smaller model and a bigger model. I not only have a onesie getting made, it is done, completely finished. There is a super high chance I'll have inventory at TwitchCon for people to be able to buy. And I have a special video testimonial. Let me go turn up.
My skills are so right for fucking.
I hope that helps sell it. You will see these very, very soon. I'll give better pictures of these, obviously, but I need to kind of do like a shoot and stuff like that. Both of these will be available later this year. This will probably be available at TwitchCon. And finally, what a lot of you guys are here for this month, let's talk about the schedule. This is the final thing I have to talk about. Scheduling is the biggest pain in the ass ever. People don't respond. People say yes, and then they ghost you. People come in the last fucking second. The date, 3 days before you're supposed to announce it, they're like, yo, can I get in? And I'm like, bro. Some people snuck into multiple collabs without me knowing. A lot of times I'll be like, yo, so I want to play with you, and then you can bring in your group of people. And sometimes like the group gets filled out, and I'll be like, weren't you in my other group? Every single day, it's gonna be 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. I didn't fully fill out the schedule because honestly, by the time I got the 2 remaining slots open, it was the day before my announcement, and I didn't want to stress myself over. So I have 2 break days in this 13-day gauntlet. The very first day, which is tomorrow, I'll be playing Unrailed with Giga, Zentraya, Haruka. They're a really fun group to play with. I've never played Unrailed before in my life. Then afterwards, this is the first time I've ever done this too. It's Call of Cthulhu. Soul will be DMing this single campaign with me. She did say I could bring in my dragon. So we'll see how it works out. The next day, and I asked Finana, what do you think we should play? And she said, let's play a horror game in Roblox called The Doors. I've never played Roblox before in my life. I don't know how it's gonna go. We'll see. The next one, this is one of my 2 Apex collabs. I'll be playing with Zen and Yuna. It should be really good. I've never interacted with them before in my life. I hosted one of them once and I was like, you know what? Let's go for it. And the funny thing is, my next Apex collab is the next day with Nia Mocha and Evil Toaster. I think I also hosted them once as well. Then I have a break at 6 p.m. at 9/4. On the 5th of September, I wanted to bring a lot of my real life friends with VTuber models out more. So it'll be very interesting. I don't think Celine's ever done a VTuber collab before, ever. So it'll be cool. The next, I've always wanted to introduce Hanfumi to people. So I decided to bring in Wendy for a casual, fun, chill game of Plate Up. Certainly nothing will go wrong because it's just, we're very normal, respectable people, and that'll be a fun 4-man group. The next day, I asked Maya and Sai to play, and I know from before that Maya actually loves GTFO. It's been a game I've kind of been looking at. I'm like, what is this game? But Maya chose to bring in her friend, Siegi, I think that's how you say it. and then we're gonna play this very strange horror shooter. The next day, I actually have 2 Ghost Watchers collabs, which is just not what I expected. Joel ended up making this group for me with Giga and Yuzu, and we're gonna be patching some ghosts. Joel is always great to have in the group. He's really, really fun. I've never interacted with Yuzu before, but I think it'll be a good time. I have 2 Fall Guys collabs. I think Fall Guys is always really fun to play with people, so I have 2 of them, and I think it's gonna be thumbs up. The day after, the 8th, is gonna be, we're gonna be playing In Silence. And it was really hard to play, but I thought it was hilarious last time. Gumi helped set up this group, and I brought in Wendy. I think it's gonna be a really fun group. I asked Lily, I was like, Lily, you wanna play with Niji people? And she was like, I love Niji. So 30% of my calendar is Niji, but I don't even have 50% of their roster. They have so many people. The big headliner, Big Ham, reached out and was one of the first people to ever reach out. We're playing 2 Crowns. Also a very unique cooperative game. I've never played it before. She promises me it's gonna be fun. I am down. The next person I'm very excited to be a part of this, Ego Cider, Juniper. So I reached out this time as well because she's great. She's one of the very first VTubers I ever followed. She is a insect girl VTuber and she rigs all of her models herself. We didn't decide on the game or anything, and at some point I remember battleships being popular for like 3 days. And I was like, you wanna just drink and play battleships? So I have 2 drug collabs. They're back-to-back days on the 9th and 10th. We have our second Ghost Watchers group with Giri, DM, and Aru. This will be an interesting one. I am very excited to play Ghost Watchers with this group. I always love playing with DM and Giri. And so I'm excited to also meet new people. It'll be a good one. The next thing is Drunk Valo. I'd already make a group to drink, essentially. So this is my second Valo collab, which is weirdly enough back-to-back days. How did I get my Apex and Valo back-to-back? The day after, Penguin Heist. I had never played this game before. The TLDR is the physics-based cooperative penguin game where you have to do stuff. The next one is a Valo collab. IU plays a shitload of Valo. She asked to be in. I was like, pick your group this time. And Domo snuck his ass in again. The next person is someone who a lot of people may not have heard of. Castlehead. If you've never heard of him, I would not miss that day. Castlehead has a very unique model. It's his show I'll be presenting, not mine. Do not miss it. I just want to say this. Selin reached out. She was the last person to reach out. Everyone has already been like, I'm just waiting for them. And she reaches out like a couple days before. Yo, I heard you're doing stuff. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. And so we made this team. Literally, we scrapped it together at the last second to play Realm Royale. She says the game is fun. I thought this game died. The next one, our second Fortnite collab, is with Buff Pup, someone who I've also wanted to collab with for a while. She reached out and I was like, I'm down any game. She chose the people. I've never played or interacted with any of the other 2, but I think Fortnite is actually kind of fun. I think Zero Build is really enjoyable, honestly. We're doing an art collab with Magni. He is my am I allowed to say this? He's my favorite from the gen. He will be drawing, I will be providing my brain. But I think it's a lot of fun. Whenever I do art collabs with people, it is always very enjoyable. Very much looking forward to it. The last day, but definitely not the least, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm gonna just butcher it. Laimu reached out to play. Never interacted with this person. Had no idea who they were. They said Resident Evil 5 co-op. I literally responded, I'm intrigued. Please explain. She went into some detail and I'm like, say less, I'm down. A lot of people ask me to do like a crab game with every other VTuber for the last day. I felt like it's really unrealistic given how many days I had, but I didn't want to pressure people into joining and then like some people that couldn't join, some people could. So instead I made a gigantic Gartic phone lobby. I think the cap for Gartic phone is like 14 people. I decided to kind of limit that a little bit. So I'm surrounded by a lot of very good artists and myself. As usual, I will be the worst artist on every Gartic phone collab, but I think that's kind of funny. And that's my overall schedule. I'm very happy for everything that turned out. Everything about the model is incredible. I'm very happy about it. Oh, I remember I was talking to Ori and she was like, your model's like Bara. And I had to be like, what is Bara? And I Googled it and I'm like, oh no. Oh no.